with this. Is it pointing toward you?
Yes. Okay. Shit. I almost feel like I'm too loud again. All right. And penis check. Penis.
Penis check. Is it picking me up?
Now I feel like I'm too fucking close.
Are you too close? Or am I too far?
No, you're definitely too far.
I'm too far?
Yeah.
Okay, now?
Get personal with your mic, Lynn.
Personal.
Get it in your face. Put it in your mouth.
It's too far. Too close.
It's not too close. See? You gotta get... And look at that. Look, your shit's limp. Fucking
like
Tighten it. Tighten up.
Tighten up. Thought about that too. Tighten up. Work with me. No.
Are you sure? Tighten it. Tighten it, damn it.
It's tight.
Are you sure?
It's tight like a tiger.
Tight like a toiger.
Tight like a tiger.
Tight like a toiger.
All right, I'm ready.
You ready? In a 3, a 2, a 1. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Project Airwaves. I am D.
And this is Lynn. Hello.
How are we doing fucking night? Lynn, do you got it yet?
Do I got it?
Do you got it?
No, I don't have it.
No, you don't have it?
Not that I know of.
Okay, all right, cool. Just checking.
No, we're good. I'm
Social
good.
distancing? Are we
Oh, God.
are we enough apart?
The topics we will hit today when it comes to that is that social distancing nonsense. I understand the concept of it, and I do relatively get the fact that it needs to be implemented, but it's unrealistic to say that if you're going to a grocery store or going anywhere else that people are going to socially distance themselves,
right,
regardless how much tape you put on the ground and if there's a sneeze guard or like it's... yeah. Anyways, a lot of topics we're going to try and hit today. We're going to try and keep things uplifting and positive. We'll give you guys current events, a little bit of story time. Our one good thing and one bad thing to go off with the week and what we can do to make everybody's lives a little bit better.
A little bit. Just a little bit. Just a wee bit better. Now, something I just wanted to bring up really quick because it's funny is just some of the, I don't know, it's almost like a self-defeating tactic people are doing. Like, so you go to the store and they have the shield in front of them at the cash register and shit.
The plexiglass.
I
noticed that yesterday when I went to Winco. Yeah.
Like, okay, but you're not contained in a bubble, person, so the air that I'm breathing is just going to go around this plexiglass and you're going to breathe it in. But what about the people behind you?
Yeah. There's still, and I want, going to the grocery store yesterday, I saw people with a lot of the homemade DIY masks.
What?
They're not even wearing the right N95 ones, so it's like, I get those ones are expensive, but the concept of, I was standing in line to get into Winco, and you saw when we went like a week or two ago, that there is a line to get in there. Which is smart, limiting the flow of traffic in there to stop people from getting sick and whatnot.
Right.
But I ran into a supervisor for kind of the same department, but for the overtime side, and first thing she said when I get up there, she's got a mask on, she's got cleaning gloves on, and she looks at me and she's like, "Hey, where's your mask at?" And I look at her and I was like, "For one, you're not even wearing the right one. You've got a rag around your face.
Got him.
Like you're gonna go napalm the side of or Molotov cocktail the side of the building."
Right.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, I kind of understand." But she was so adamant about trying to get to the point why I'm not wearing a mask.
Right.
And in all honesty, that's one thing the CDC never really covered, but I think California might be doing I don't know if it's California or Hawaii or somewhere. Some places are doing it now where it's like they're going to charge you $1,000 fine if you don't wear a mask outside.
Yes, I've heard of that. Getting fined for not wearing the mask, not being socially distant. It was like 6 to 9 feet or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I've heard of some some pastors in like some of the mega churches over in Florida. They've been getting arrested for still holding like Sunday service or Sunday mass, because I know Easter's coming up soon, And,
oh yeah, Easter. That's a big hit.
Right.
A lot of people are getting pissed off about.
Like me and Lynn were talking about, I'm kind of torn because as far as religion goes, I understand the whole point of any pastor is to save souls and to uplift his people. His congregation is his herd and he is the shepherd. So of course he or she, so of course, they're going to go out of their way to make sure their people are taken care of,
right,
and to make sure they're still delivering the word. However, in this current situation, because it's an epidemic and that has become a pandemic, this isn't one of those things where it's like 9/11 where we're just like, okay, everybody's afraid to go on a plane.
Right.
This is one of those things where people are afraid to just be around each other because they're afraid of social contact.
Yeah.
As far as spreading it. So for me, I've been torn because a part of me is like, well, yeah, you shouldn't have church, but at the same time, I don't believe these people should be going to prison for it per se.
Right. There's a small window such a gray area to kind of figure out what the consequences should be with what these people can and can't do. Like, obviously the government and a lot of states and cities are trying to figure out, how much punishment is too much punishment.
Right. What's going too far.
What's going too far. What's not punishing enough.
Right.
Like one of the things a couple weeks I saw when this first started was, I think it was like in China before they cleared up, how this lady was sneezing on her hands and touching all the elevator buttons.
Yes.
Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because
that fucks everything up.
Yeah, you're purposely trying to spread just to be a dick. Like you're trying to get a reaction out of it. But when it comes to people trying to do something for the better,
yes,
and then punishing them because you can't physically lock a human being in an area for a long time and not expect them to want to get out.
People aren't built for that.
And I understand the concept of the social distancing and trying to kind of make it more of a less of a contagion and more of like a positive
trying
way.
To, what is it, bring lower the curve
lower the curve and make it to where it's not as a big hit, which it's affecting right now.
It is.
I've been seeing so many memes of saying that that for one, that the earth is healing itself.
Yes.
The ozone and everything is healing itself. It says Earth is healing itself. Dolphins finally came back.
Yes.
And then it shows a thing. It says 176 days later, and it shows a T-Rex walking around saying, "I'm back, motherfucker." So I get it, and I do believe that that people being inside and not as active and open and out in public, it's helping the Earth. It's helping the Earth recover and do a little bit better.
Yes.
But realistically, humans are on Earth for a reason. And
yes.
The concept of us being around is the reason why Earth has continued to change and adapt for the better, not only for the worse.
The Earth was built for us. So, and that's what drives me nuts when I hear people talking about, oh, there's too many people on the planet. Yeah. We're using up all the resources. Well, no, there's not too many people because last time I checked, when me and Lynn went hiking, which we're about to talk about in a minute, there's tons of fucking unused land. Wherever we went, what was it, Lavelle Canyon or something like that?
Lavelle Canyon or
Trail or something like that.
Yeah, that was off
there's
Red Rock.
No fucking body out there. So to tell me there's too many people, when you say too many people on Earth, that tells me every inch of dry land that we can possibly put people in is covered.
No.
And we all know it's nowhere near that.
Realistically,
so
no.
To say the Earth is overpopulated and that, we're causing the Earth to die and this and that. Yes, we're using more resources than we need, but at the same time, if the Earth couldn't handle it, I think we would see a way worse fluctuations in the way the Earth gets by. Like we're seeing, temperatures moving, but this to me is the natural change of the Earth. Mm-hmm. At one point in time, we had an ice age. Well, that ice had to melt and go somewhere. Yeah. At one point in time, they say the Earth was covered in water. The Earth, we were all Pangea, one big ass continent, and then it broke apart into pieces. The Earth is constantly changing. So, that hearing stuff like that, because people are using climate change and overpopulation to, or I guess they're throwing it in to fuel the fire of the COVID-19 argument.
Right.
And I hate hearing that.
They're turning it to, it's not so much based off of what the election's doing, but Democrats and Republicans, they're using that as a platform as why this shit's happening. Like COVID-19 was factory made or chemical made, so it's like this is why people are acting out because it's Trump's fault. So
no.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll hit up a couple current events to go on through.
Yeah.
So what we've found so far, at least for my concept is I am a big UFC fan. I love the fights. I love the concept of the sport, and it is really cool to get everybody together. A lot of the times I do look more forward to spending time with the friends.
Right.
So, to have a couple drinks, eat some good food, and, the fights are fun to watch.
Right.
But it's the social interaction of being able to actually enjoy it. It's one thing I do miss.
Right.
Is looking forward to an event of having something to do.
Yeah.
But with everybody knowing what's going on, since we did get extended an extra 15 days in lockdown to April 30th, they did postpone UFC 249 because Disney requested it.
Disney and ESPN.
Disney and ESPN, they're powerhouses, and it's understandable. And since Disney does own the rights to ESPN,
owns almost fucking everything.
And ESPN owns the UFC, you have to have it. So
you have
it's like, Dana White did a little speech saying, hey, I'm sorry, guys, we really, really tried, but these are my bosses saying we can't do anything. So they originally were going to do it where they were going to record it here in Apex and have the fights, but no guest attend.
Right.
Now it's like they're not doing
They don't want anything.
Dana White did a cool thing, which a lot of companies I'm seeing it's a hit or miss do, is that Dana White even said, none of my staff will go unemployed.
Yeah, he didn't fire anybody.
I will pay all their bills until this is done with.
It's fucking awesome.
He won't touch them.
Right.
But then you've got these multi-million-dollar companies that make more.
Oh, yeah. No.
They're furloughing everybody.
Chucking people to the wayside.
They're furloughing everybody left and right. And then the smaller companies, like, like Win and stuff, they're like, oh, we'll pay and we'll keep you afloat as much as possible because they have the funds to do it. The MGM properties, they do have the funds to do it. They just don't want to do it.
Well, and I mean, we all know it comes down to greed. Unfortunately, people that make a lot of money don't like anything that's going to stop them from making that type of money. So when you talk about a place like Vegas, and we're practically built around gambling, that's pretty much tourism, and gambling is what keeps Vegas afloat. Yeah. It's no surprise when you see that we don't have enough schools here to support the number of kids the number of kids attending. Our hospital and our welfare system is garbage, or I should say our medical system and our welfare system is garbage. And you see that our hotels look fucking immaculate. They look like five-star fucking,
they're gonna be 5-star because
you know what I mean?
This town is catered to guests.
To the greedy, unfortunately.
To people that don't live here. If you're not a local, I'm sorry, if you are a local, you're getting the bare minimum with the highest amount of having to pay for.
Yeah.
And then if you're non-local and you're a guest, this place looks like heaven. It looks like a vacation.
They treat you like a queen or a king from another country. They're just like, oh yeah, you're here from Canada. Oh hey, why don't you come over here and we'll give you this free comp for this, and you'll go to this concert. And you want to see the Blue Man Group? Hey, you want to get this?
It's
I've been here 30 years. What do I get? What the fuck? Yeah, no. Pay for it.
Locals, you're supposed to get a local discount, which is like 10% off or something. And it's all downtown Fremont kind of stuff.
It's all garbage. I mean, it's interesting to see at least.
It's interesting to see that some places are willing to compensate and help their guests.
Right.
But at the end of the day, without this, it sucks to say, with Vegas, without the tourists. Without the tourists, we don't exist.
We don't. We're quiet. We're kind of fading off into the distance. We're a blip on the radar. But, things will recover in time. And, it's funny because going along the lines of Lynn talking about the funny memes he saw, I saw something about people taking like domestic violence mugshots, and posting them, and I was like, yeah, is it funny? Yes, but at the same time,
TikTok, YouTubers, everything like that.
The problem is it's bad timing.
It's bad timing
because if you look into it, around the world globally with all of these lock-ins, there has been unfortunately a rise in domestic violence cases because
huge amount.
Of course, when people can't leave, they stay at home, and then when they get bored, they drink, they do drugs.
You start to really know
the
person that you live with because you're consistently around them all the time. It makes it hard.
Tempers flare, shit happens, and unfortunately, and yes, we know it is more towards the women, unfortunately, than men, but it's still happening to both genders regardless. So, it's like I said, it's just bad timing.
Really bad timing.
It was funny. Some people, they are really artistic, and they made it look real good. Like one girl, I forget her name, but she posted a picture, and it looked like she just had been through the ringer. And, of course, no domestic violence of any kind is a laughing matter. I'm just talking about the people putting on the makeup to look like the mugshot, the theme of the mugshot. I'll put it that way. They look really, really good. And so, while I would love to have taken enjoyment from it, at the same time, it was like, well,
it's a bad topic and a bad concept.
Bad timing.
People they're bored and they don't have a whole lot to do, so they're trying to find ways to implement their life. And I'd be a hypocrite if I said elsewise. Like, I am finding ways to entertain myself because I'm still lucky enough to be working.
Yes,
because I do hotel security, but it's the minimum of I'm not getting to work.
Right.
I'm patrolling an empty, dark hotel for 10 hours by myself. It's isolation. I'm getting paid to walk around and keep myself awake at midnight with no human contact.
Yes.
And that mentally is more draining than physically. So I know when I come home, I can't just sleep all day and then stay in a room.
Be a zombie and shit.
Exactly. I have to be able to do something to get my brain up and going.
Yes.
So I'll do anything. Social distancing is the concept of things now. But, I mean, I hit up D a couple days ago just to go jog at the park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It was amazing.
At the sports park. And it's like, we're away from everybody. We're doing our own thing. It's not like I'm getting a group of 20 or 30 people running a marathon.
There's like 3 or 4 of us at best.
With how the law, it's just like law clicks, it's like you're still allowed to go do things.
Yes.
It just can't be with the fuck ton of people.
Right.
And granted, with my bad joints and bad knees and everything, falling apart like Mr. Potato Head over here, running for me has always been hard, but physically, I'm in really good shape, but just the concept of running,
you
don't really know.
Cardio in general sucks.
You really don't know how bad things are until you start trying to run. So it's like, it's nice to go out. It's nice to find little ways, little increments and challenges for yourself to do something that you don't normally get to do.
And speaking of me and Lynn hanging out and excessive physical activity, story time.
Oh, yeah, we're going to story time.
Story time. So this, what 2 weeks ago?
2.5
weeks ago?
It's got to be almost 2 going on 3 weeks.
We went hiking.
Yeah.
So it was about 4 of us.
Yeah, there was 4 of us. We tried to go hiking. We tried to go hiking. We tried to go up to Red Rock. It was literally like 2-3 days before they shut down Red Rock.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That's the thing, is that
everything was closed.
The Red Rock technically was still open at the time, so there was no frowning upon trying to go out and hiking because you couldn't do anything.
That was literally social distancing.
Yeah, so people like, all right, everybody took the advantage of going hiking, but obviously, governors and the government found out, hey, people are doing things they're not supposed to be doing, even though it's not in town, so they started shutting it down. So they shut down all the back roads. We'd already planned to go hiking, even though everything was shut down. People were still finding spots to go hike. So like, okay, we're going to take advantage of it. There's only 4 of us. It's not like we're going fucking crazy with it. So I was, a couple days prior to that was me and my dad's birthday, and he'd given me a little bit of a trail called Lavelle Canyon Trail.
Yeah, something like that.
Which was on the tail end of the scenic route for Red Rock. So we were in my car. We drive out to this far part of Lavelle. We're following Google Maps as best as we can. The thing is, Google Maps gave us a trail to Lavelle Canyon Road. Yeah. And then the actual trail itself.
Yeah, we got lost a little bit.
It flipped so quick to the trail, or to the path being a 20-minute drive, to, okay, the actual trail is an hour and 20 minutes away.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah, so we got halfway out. We get to the end of the road where the MapQuest tells us, and then we're like, all right, I'm not seeing a trail. It's just a bunch of turnoffs.
Just dirt road. Seeing people like here and there.
Yeah, just spotty. I'm like, all right, I'm not seeing a lot of people out here that this can't be where it's at.
Right.
So I guess I'll let you take away with some of it.
So we kind of pull in. Lynn's like, hey, because we took 2 separate cars, social distancing.
Yeah, you did take your car. Yeah. You're right.
So Lynn wanted to pull in and ask some people, that were camping out there. It was like, hey, do you see any good trails? Is there anywhere to go hiking around here? So we talked, not really anywhere to go. So we were like, fuck it, let's just head back. We'll try and catch a trail on the way back into town, and fuck it. So we pull off the dirt road
to the left.
And this, it goes from a dirt road to like,
right.
There's a left to the
right. We'll explain this dirt road. It went straight, back, left, right.
Oh God. So we pull left, and it's like a campsite, which you expect, it's like kind of muddy, a little bit of gravel, some tree stumps. So we go in there. Lynn's got a V8. I got a 4-cylinder, but our cars are still pretty big cars for what they are. They're still 4-door sedans. So I make the 360 turn, no problem. I take it easy. I'm like, yeah, my little car is like, or my big old baby. She's like, boop, boop, we're out. I'm looking in my rear view mirror. This asshole, I didn't even take my eyes off him, but for a second, I hear thump, thump. I was like, oh shit. And I look back, his car looks like a beached fucking whale. It's stuck on a tree stump. So his front axle has gone over the stump, and now the center of the body of his car is now sitting on the fucking top of this stump.
Yep.
It's hilarious. He thought he was stuck. Like, he didn't know he was beached. He thought, he was like, yeah, it's just a rock or something. And I'm like, no, bro, you are stuck. So we get out of the car, and it's like, okay, we need to chill. We got time. It's still early. We really hadn't been out that long. We were out for like maybe 2-3 hours at that time. So we're trying to get it, and we're digging out mud from under his tires because his tires can't get any traction.
Rocks, sticks.
We put a blanket over the front of his car so I can pull my car up so our noses are touching, and I'm trying to push his car off this hump. So we're both burning rubber in the dirt, so our cars are like slowly kind of sinking into the dirt because of course it had just rained a few days before.
Yes. So
the mud was definitely very soft, nothing to get traction on. Long story short, we decided to pull the jack out.
Oh, no.
Before we pull the jack out, I'm going to let Lyndon have this.
Details. Okay. So we'll get to the part where my car was beached. It was on a stump. We had parked in that spot, Tried to run up a hill to see if I could find if there's anywhere to go. Couldn't figure out anywhere to go.
Nope.
Tried to turn around. We hadn't seen anybody for a while.
Yes.
And on the right side, across, like I said before, the path went straight, went back to the left and to the right.
That's it.
So me and C,
C.
the other guy that was with us, we had tried everything. Between the four of us, we tried everything to push his car.
Sticks, trees, rocks.
We'd use these car to push my car. It just every time I would give it gas, I could hear between me digging a hole into the ground with the tires,
right,
and scraping underneath where my oil pan was and my traction. Your
traction control was off.
Every single time the car didn't realize that it was able to touch ground, the traction control would kick on and it would stop the tire from spinning. So I had all the horsepower in the world.
Miserable.
Couldn't go anywhere.
Miserable.
So we saw on the right side of us that there was decent sized little truck there with tents and stuff, like people had been camping over there.
Right.
So all right, me and C decide to cross the path to walk over to talk to this family. So first thing that caught my eye, being insecure and everything like that, C just starts walking up to where the truck's at and the tent's at, and I see, a line with clothes hanging there, like they'd been drying.
I'm not with him, mind you, so this is new to me.
Yeah, so I'd seen clothes hanging there. I had seen that, there was like a rabbit hanging from a wire.
Oh,
like they
shit.
Had, that they cut it to gut it and skin it and clean it and cook it.
Some hills have eyes.
Exactly. So in my head, I'm like, fuck. The people that are about to come out this thing are going to be some turned back rednecks that have been out here just doing incest the entire time. Yeah, they're nomads. They've been doing their own thing, and they don't come in contact with people for a reason.
Right.
So I was like, great. And before I had a chance to say anything, C just takes a deep breath. Hello, everybody over there. And I look at him like, oh fuck! Like I put my hand behind my back as if to put the illustration of, okay, maybe I might be holding a firearm.
Right.
So when the person comes back out, maybe they won't question what we're doing.
Right.
This guy comes out, I kid you not, in, what was it, pajama pants?
Yeah.
He looked like a vagrant. He had a beanie.
He was hella chill, though.
Yeah, he was so bummy looking, kind of cautious. He came out.
Yeah.
Had a little. He had like it wasn't a knife, but it was something in his hand to kind of like just like, hey,
just in case.
Who are you people? You can see his kids peeking through the window. I'm assuming his wife was on the other side, and we explained her story like, hey, this is what's going on. We want to know if there's any chance your car can push us. Mm-hmm. Kind of seemed a little hesitant in the beginning because he's like, oh, this is all that I own. By the way, his name was Cody.
Oh, his name was Cody.
His name was Cody.
Thank you, Cody,
in
advance.
His name was Cody, and then his wife's name was Heather.
Oh, right on.
Cody and Heather came in clutch on such a level.
Yes.
It made us realize, or me realize more or less, that you can't judge a book by its cover.
No.
These people came out. Cody came out, mind you. He started digging holes underneath my tire.
Cody's a beast.
He was planting sticks, giving us ideas.
Yes, he wasn't big, okay, Cody? He's not scrawny, but he I would say he was like an average sized white boy.
Yeah.
Cody was hella chill. Like when I saw Lynn and C come up, and I was like, oh shit. So now let's say part 2, okay? So while Lynn and C are down there trying to get help, me and Lynn's partner, we're over here trying to figure out how to get the car unstuck. So she's like, yo, get the jack. And I was like, what? She's like, get the jack out of the back of the car. Maybe we can lift it over the hump. And I was like, oh, shit, that makes perfect sense. So I'm like, okay. And then in the back of my mind, I'm going, Lynn's not going to go for this because we're going to have to literally push his car off the hump.
Run over the jack.
And then run over the jack.
On the fucking hump with a tree stump.
But after, I want to say 2 hours of trying to get it unstuck.
2.5, 3 hours.
Lynn was just like, fuck it, like, let's just do whatever. So Cody and Heather,
they came with the spare jack.
Guys, being stuck has never been so fun. I don't know what it is about my life or Lynn's life, but I can tell you some of the most funnest times in our lives have been when we've been broke, when shit's been fucked up, when things have been going nothing but wrong, and something happens and it's just like, that's a once in a lifetime experience. So Cody and his wife are there. They're, like I said, we're snapping twigs, snapping limbs off of trees. We're
flat rocks,
digging in rocks. So
everything.
Another little funny side note, I find this big old rock, and we're digging holes out of the back tire. I shove the rock. It only gets like halfway on the tire, so I'm like, okay, back up. I'm wearing boots. So I start stomping the tire, and Lynn starts singing Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah, because the way that you were stomping it, I forgot about that. I remember because Cody and everybody else laughed.
We all died laughing. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to fucking fix your car.
It was little nitpicks that we tried to do. I was so desperate at that point and so worn out with just dealing with it. I had spare mats.
Yeah, your floor mats.
Yeah, my floor mats for my car, and I'd had them for so long. But, you know, they're memorable. Like, I liked them.
That was from your Saturn?
That was from my Saturn. Shit. I put them in every single car until this one. And I put them underneath. They're still in my trunk.
Yeah.
I put them underneath, and I'm like, okay, you know, maybe if I get some traction. Nope.
Shredded.
That V8 ripped apart.
Ate them apart.
It lit them on fire.
Ate them apart.
Melted the rubber to my tires.
Yes, he was melting. So he was so stuck. The tree branches we put under the tires to get traction were starting to burn.
They were burning,
so you could smell this beautiful burning wood, like oak smell. At the same time, it's covered with a scent of burning rubber. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking maybe coolant, because his car was just like, yo, I'm over being here. Mm-hmm. So long story short, I'm saying that, and we're 15 minutes in.
The concept of the long story short, we'll wrap it up.
So Lynn gives in. He's like, fine, fuck it, jack up the car. So we jack it up on the one side where the where the car is most beached. Mm-hmm. Lynn's like, yo, push. And I was like, what? Because he's trying to go, and it's just not going. He's like, push. I was like, all right, bro.
Everybody push, yeah.
So we all get to the front of the car.
You and Cody, right? That all pushed.
Yeah, it was me, C, and Cody. Yeah. And we get to the front of the car. I'm like, Lynn, gun it. And I push, and his car goes thump, thump, and it's loose.
It broke off.
We are all ecstatic. You would have thought we just pulled a baby out of a well. We were ecstatic, okay? It was amazing. It was a great fuck up to start off a great adventure, because the hike we had after was amazing.
The hike we had after, we still ran through with it. You know, thank you again for Cody and Heather. Like,
yes. By the way, Cody is a tarot card reader.
Yeah. Out of nowhere.
I don't have his card. I'm sorry, Cody, but you know we got to give you a shout out. Yeah, he's got the card.
He definitely came in clutch. You know, he handed his little tarot cards afterwards, because that's how they make money. They travel around the world
reading tarot cards.
And just trying to live. He said he'd been doing it for a year. You know, and that's what their life was. But meeting people in the middle of nowhere,
right,
and expecting the least from them and getting more than what you expect. It just shows me that being optimistic and being happy and proud and available mentally does spring opportunity, because he was positive influence. He's like, yeah, no, we're going to do this. This is
At no point did he say, like, fuck it, this isn't going to work.
He consistently kept saying
they didn't want to leave.
No,
he
didn't want to leave until
help.
we were done. And, you know, I threw him like $20, $30, and they didn't even want it. Like, they didn't want anything.
Yeah, he looked so uncomfortable.
But they still helped us out. So, you know, we got the car out.
And, like, guys, it felt like if you saw where we were, it felt like the fucking Walking Dead. Like, you look around. Down the street, nothing. Up the street, nothing. To your left, nothing. To your right, these people in their little camper, and that's it for at least a good 5-10 miles. Mm-hmm. And so it was fun. While it was fun at one point, like when he first got stuck, like the reality set in, like, oh shit, we're fucking stuck in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a pandemic, and we might have to call for help.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna come get us. You can move my car. It's so far out from where we were at that. It's just no tow trucks.
Yeah, you can't just flag down a tow truck on the fly. We can't call like highway patrol and be like, "Hey guys, can you come out to Podunk back alley, back street, and get our car on fucking beach?" Like, so it was kind of a miracle in that everything just worked out the way it did.
It did. It still worked out. A lot of the times that we've been stranded without money, being able to do anything, we've always been able to put our heads together. Shit just works out. D came in clutch. He was thinking angles, nooks, and crannies, how to get this car out, when a lot of us were just like, fuck, dude. I was just about to say, fuck it, light my car on fire, and let the insurance company claim it, because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. I was over it. But, like you said, we still continued the hike. We went to Calico Basin, I want to say.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Got pretty far up there, but we started to get worn out because we would already been working on the car out in the sun for 2-3 hours.
Well, yeah, so we get done with the car. We're heading back. Lynn's like, let's find a trail. We're like, fuck it, let's find a trail. So we find this little trail. It breaks off, like looking at the map, it goes up and it breaks off into another trail at the mountain.
Side note, they just closed it like 2 days ago.
Damn, really?
I just saw it on social media. I tagged seeing it, saying that the little side routes,
the
ones that weren't the main attraction with Red Rock, they finally like, all right, people,
Yeah.
because now there's so
People
many
were starting to flock
where,
there.
where we went. There's so many fucking people there now. It's like you just can't.
And it sucked, but it was still cool. And so it was like where we were. So if you didn't hike up the first hill, which was a bitch,
It's all incline.
it was a straight incline.
All
So
incline.
imagine taking a treadmill and turning it up to what, like 15? That's the highest
15,
incline.
yeah.
Turn it up to the highest incline and try and maintain a steady speed of like 3.0. That's what we were doing up this. It was like for about a good maybe 2 to 5 minutes we were walking up this incline. Your legs are burnt out by the time you get to the top, but it's gorgeous because when you look out, you see the beginning of, or not the beginning, but you see one of the canyons going into Red Rock.
Right.
It's gorgeous. You literally see the rock, the scenery go from green, cuts off. It's almost like a border and red right after.
It looked good.
It was fucking amazing. So we went walking. We didn't get to finish. It got cold. It was pretty late in the day. It was kind of overcast, so the clouds were blocking out the sun. The wind was coming through.
And we were in a valley.
It was about like by the time we actually got to where we wanted to get to, we were 3/4 in. It was like what, almost 5 p.m.
Yeah, and there was a valley, like all that wind and
We were
sun,
chasing
which
the
is-
sun on our way down. It was freezing
we
because
had
it was
to
just a
find a way
big
to
wind
get back
tunnel.
in. Yeah.
But it was great. It's just a fun experience. There are things you can still do in the midst of the pandemic is what we're getting at,
Getting
and
creative.
especially with your friends, it's a good time to just get out, do something while you still can. Obviously we don't want everybody to flock to the same spot, but at the same time, while you still can, be active, get out there, maybe 4, maybe no more than 6 people, just, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, get out, have a little bit of fun, come back in. You know what I mean?
Right.
But heading off into some stuff we do want to talk about on a positive note. Whoo! Okay, so this is something I was happy to hear about. The number of new cases for coronavirus is actually coming down. It's starting to decrease.
A huge amount, actually. I saw. Actually, no. Go ahead and continue.
I noticed that I can't speak toward like specifically the U.S., but I've heard in some other countries, especially China, that the number of new cases coming in.
So what I found was that a buddy of mine posted it that 330,000 people have successfully recovered from coronavirus.
Yeah.
330,000.
So guys, that means we can beat this shit.
It's coming to a standpoint where it's like, all right, we're just waiting for our town to peak.
Yeah.
And then it's not like you peak and then you're stuck running at that
Right.
point where
We're starting to
15%,
plateau and then it's dropping.
It's just going to drop. It's not like it's just going to peak and then start to slowly decrease.
Right.
It will drop substantially. The biggest thing that we cannot stress enough is be comfortable with opening yourself back up to society when things are done, because a lot of people are still going to be on edge. Like, you're still going to see people walking around with masks.
They're going to be
People
worried
are
about it
touching things.
resurfacing and shit.
Exactly. So it's be comfortable getting back into your skin and going back to your flow, because I can't stress this enough. It's going to get so hard to where everybody's just going to still be too afraid to go step outside.
Well, the world is going to change, but that's the whole point. Like, I think people got too comfortable with status quo and shit was stagnant. We all were working our 9 to 5 beat. It's get up, go to work, come home, eat, go to sleep. Get up, go to work, come home, eat, go to sleep. It's fucking boring and monotonous.
It's exhausting.
And, while this pandemic does suck, it's a good change because everything's going to be different moving forward. Like, hopefully in a good way. I've heard some speculation that, they may try and do us like China, where they're under 24-hour surveillance.
Right.
I heard China and I think Korea too, where if you go outside, they're watching you. They know where you're going. They are talking about implementing wristbands for those of us, well, I'll say those who have either had the virus and recovered, or,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's new to me.
I know in the UK, they were talking about wristbands, and some people were talking about getting chipped or some way of identifying those who have got it and recovered,
Right.
or those of us who are automatically immune to it.
Well, that's a concept that I wanted to touch base on, which a lot of people, I'm sure more than not, are afraid of, is a lot of people don't take the flu shot.
Yes.
I know, like I said, I'd be a hypocrite otherwise. I don't. I've never really have.
I haven't had it for a while.
Exactly. It's like the flu strain changes every single year. To introduce that into my body, it's like, I get it. I understand the concept of it. It's never anything I wanted to
Now,
do.
mind you, asterisk next to what we're saying, me and Lynn don't get sick. Like, I get sick maybe once a year, maybe twice on a bad year.
And like I said, my body's been through so much physical damage.
Right.
It's to the extent, it's like, my immune system's great. I'm doing fine. I get allergies like no fucking other. Physically, the more beat up I am, the better I function.
Yeah.
Opposed to if I'm not hurting or injured,
Right. A good day's a bad day.
Yeah, I'm superhuman at that point. Like, if I have no injuries, I can run straight into a car and probably flip the fucking car.
Right.
Like, Like you seen I Am Legend where they're tanking the car
Right,
and they're running at
just
full speed.
bum rushing it.
Yeah, like that's me if my body wasn't the way that it is now. So, I feel like what's going to happen now, which one thing I'm afraid of, is they're going to take away the people's freedom to choose if they want to get vaccinated.
Right.
If they're wearing that wristband, which, like you're saying, and it shows if you've either had it and doesn't have it, what's stopping that form of like a xenophobia, like a social distancing, like, oh, if I see someone walking around with the red wristband and they're not, and they haven't had it,
cause a situation where it's
that
like,
have the blue wristband, like,
you people go over there.
Yeah, exactly.
So then it becomes almost like a black versus white thing.
Yeah.
Like, well,
it's gonna
we don't
segregate.
have it.
No.
We're immune. You guys are all going to die.
It's going to become a segregation.
And
That's a scary topic to think about.
That's what I'm saying. You know, the stuff with, like you were saying, martial law, lockdown, where everything is, you know, they come to you. So you're locked in your house. So the government's coming to check on you. They bring you your food. They give you the news and tell you what's going on. Some other things, you know, and I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm just being honest. Like, let's just talk about the facts. This is shit that can happen. You know, there can be full blown, like I should say, statewide power outages where they might lock down the grid. That's also a measure they're thinking about to stop people from going out, not having activity, suspending your driving privileges,
that's
you know, shit
law.
like that. People
That's
are
law.
afraid to even now touch physical money. So what, we're going to start fucking burning money in books and shit like that? Like, these are things we have to consider coming out of an epidemic is, okay, now, how is this going to change, and how are we going to, what's going to be our new normal?
Yeah.
How are we going to acclimate?
What's the day-to-day? It's the equivalent of being able to adapt. Your life isn't going to go back the way that it was.
Right.
It sucks to say, but your original 9 to 5 and going out on the weekends and, you know, doing the gym every other day, or
it's going to change for a while, if nothing else.
For a while, and you'll notice that when you adapt to the change rather than trying to fight it, you'll find a new routine to better yourself, because it's adaptation. It's your version of, all right, obviously this sucks and I don't like it, but let me find out what I can do in order to make it mine. Right. So
it's not forever.
Be open to opening yourself up to a new change of environment, a new concept of how things are going to be. It's not going to be a complete, like, they're just not going to just lock you in a cage.
Right, it's not going to be a shit show.
Yeah, they're going to try to
control it.
But
it might not be fun right off the bat.
It won't be fun right off the bat, but you'll find a way to make it yours. It's no different than starting a new job.
Right.
The job that I'm in, or that you've been in for a long time, you're comfortable because you have a routine and you can do whatever the fuck you want because you know your job. Going into a new job, it's like, all right, what I did before doesn't work.
You're changing so you got to learn it.
You're changing careers, you're changing lifestyle.
Exactly. Perfect way of thinking. And something else I wanted to bring up, just, you know, to kind of give people something to think about is they're coming out with something called the COVID. Well, I don't know why I'm acting like this, like nobody knows, but the COVID-19 economic impact payment. So they don't want you calling it a stimulus check.
Yeah.
Because technically this is like a one-off scenario where it's like, this isn't going to permanently change the way humans live from now on. It's just affecting things for now. You know, it's just fucking stuff up for now.
Is it a one-time thing, or are they doing a reoccurring monthly thing?
I don't know how it's going to be. I haven't looked into the major details just because I don't like to get in stuff when it's still fresh, when it's in the draft.
I don't like having something.
I want to know the final,
I don't want to talk about something until it's physically in my
hands.
hands.
And then it keeps changing, and I got to talk about it again, and I don't give a shit. Look, I know that the basic concept. They're sending out checks. Yeah. I'm calling it a stimulus check because, let's just be honest, that's what the fuck it is.
It's stimulating, yeah.
You know, some talks I've had and heard are, you know, for those of us who are still working, you know, how much we're getting paid, or, you know, if you're not working, like you were talking about, if you're head of household with kids,
right,
you know, you have dependents.
The concept of it,
things like that. How much are you going to get more money? So there's a lot of fine details that need to be ironed out.
A lot of gray area.
You know, so we're not gonna say, you know, this is gonna, you know, change the world, or it's gonna bring everybody out of this temporary, I guess you could call it a recession if you really want to, which is really not. But
it's weird to state, like, pretty much the only way the government knows how to make things better is by throwing money at us.
Yes, because that's it.
There's no mental help. There's no, hey,
nothing.
This is what you need to do to make yourself feel better, because the mental, the optimism and the pessimism of how people are acting it's so badly fluctuated. Like, I've spoken with this a lot with you know, a lot of friends, is that, you know, you've got the optimistic side, which is a 5%, right, and then you've got the pessimistic side, which is 95%,
right, because they're going off what they hear on the fucking news and stuff.
Being the few of us that are hitting that 5% ratio, it's getting to the part is, it's like, how long can you be in a 5% with the minimal amount of resources meaning like positivity, stimulant,
nothing to recharge
energy.
you.
Yeah, exactly. If I don't have a recharge, I can't be the only person positive all the time.
Right.
It sucks to say. It's mentally and physically exhausting to be around everybody that's so negative all the time.
Yes.
Like, your negativity isn't it's not fucking helping.
Right.
So either shut the fuck up,
Right.
find a way to make it better, or don't
Right.
bring around me, because
Right.
you're not making my life any better, and you're not
Right.
making anybody's life better. If you want to lock yourself away and sulk and, you know, why me and why
Right.
does this shit fucking suck, then go ahead, go do it. I'm not gonna say and fault you
Right.
for being who you are as an individual, but don't feel like you're entitled to implement your negativity on someone
Right.
else to make yourself feel better, because
Right.
it's the common term of misery loves company.
Yeah.
You want to be miserable, understandable, but right now your misery doesn't deserve company.
Right. If you're
Because-
not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem.
Exactly. You need to get yourself out of that fucking headspace. Get your head out your ass.
Yeah.
Find a way to make yourself feel better.
Right.
Do better, and then raise that percentage from
Right.
5%. Like I said, I brought D, and I brought my daughter and everybody
Yeah.
else to come with me to go hiking. I invited a couple other friends to keep it below the
Yeah.
limit of 10 just to go hiking, just to go run. It
Yes.
sucks to say, but the only days that most of the people that I know are tending to be active is when I'm off.
Yeah.
Because I have to drag everybody together to go do something. And it's nothing big, but
Yeah.
we're going to the park to run around, and then we'll do the podcast or just do a little bit of things every once in a while to keep the energy flowing. Because if, like D stated, if you do this consistent, go to work, go to home, go to bed, go to
Yeah.
work, go to home, go to bed, but now you're not working,
You're
so
gonna
you're just
burn
going
out.
home,
Right.
going home, going home, going
Yeah.
home. You can only make a puzzle so many times, play a video game so many times, be an introvert, and not mentally wear yourself out. If
Yeah.
you're going to be like that, it's going to mentally and physically and emotionally start to wear your ass out.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I have with, or one of the issues I have with how the government is handling this. If you know people if you know people are going to want to get out and be social, why don't you have like a was it
You good?
scratch in my throat. Okay. If you know people are going to want to be social, why don't you have like sterilized areas for them to go to? And it's like, okay, you're in a group of 6. Okay, cool. We'll sterilize you guys. You can go inside, you know.
It kind of turns into like a clock and play place. I feel like I understand the concept of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're going to find a way to fund it. You have
yeah.
to, if you want to go out to a park,
It'll get corrupted
you
or
have
something.
to pay in order to go,
Yeah.
and the government will clean you out. if
And
you can't,
that's
then
what I
you
mean.
can't go.
You know, everything is money based, and it
is
sucks that
money-based.
shit gets corrupted so easily.
They're taking advantage of it. That 95% of the pessimism, it's so.
It's not coming from nowhere.
No, it's not coming from nowhere. It
Right.
sucks to be negative about it, and with me and D and the other 5% that tries to be optimistic and pushing, it mentally wears you out to be so light-footed and full-hearted and try to be positive when you have so much
Yes.
heavy negativity
Yes.
dumping down you. Like, hey, we all feel like shit. You need to
Right.
feel like shit too. Stop being happy.
Right, and it was funny because I saw one of these. Sorry, last little squirrel moment. I saw a video of. Okay, so it's just this preacher. He's a street preacher. It's one guy, not like a full group.
Right.
He's standing on and he's preaching the word of God. And I don't have an issue with those people. You may not always want to hear what they have to say, but
Yeah.
freedom of speech.
Right.
That's just how it goes. So
Right.
don't listen. This lady walks up to him and she is cussing him out because he's not quarantining himself. And so in my mind, here's the dumb fucking logic behind it. Because here's the thing. If I'm not self-quarantining myself and I'm just one person, you getting in my face and yelling at me means you're not quarantining yourself, you fucking idiot. And that also means if I have it, you getting in my face means I'm going to transmit it to you, or vice versa, you fucking idiot. So why would you get in somebody's face because they're not self-quarantining and you're literally potentially infecting them or getting their infection
Right.
by yelling at them and not quarantining yourself?
It's the mindset.
Oh
of,
my God.
It's the mindset of how people want to take things in because they feel like they're entitled.
Yeah.
Another squirrel note. One thing that I want to talk about for a current event, which a lot of people have been hitting on, is the Tiger King.
Oh my God.
Because your girl's been watching it too, so she'll know just as much.
Billy Bob.
Yeah, it's this whole concept of watching the video of Joe Exotic and how his life was. Yeah, I don't remember what his last name was. I just know it was Joe Exotic. He was fucking nuts, and a lot of the concept of it is because he felt like he could control any situation scenario based off of money.
Yeah.
Because he had this mindset of being privileged, that he deserved what he did. He did hustle, but the way he was hustling was like breeding tigers.
It was
It
weird.
was tigers, turning them into ligers, like
Yeah.
breeding them, freezing them, like doing petting experiences. He would have families come in and sit in with them and, you know, play and pet tigers.
Yeah.
And ligers and you know, lions and everything
And
like
bears,
that.
oh my.
I know, right? They had coyotes there and everything like that. He ran
like a zoo.
A zoo. He ran a zoo.
Okay.
But the thing was, what happened with him, you know, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but everybody pretty much knows he's in jail now, is that for the longest time he had this lady, Carol Baskin. Fucking Carol Baskin. If you see a lot of the memes, this lady...
I've heard the name, yes.
She's just as fucking crazy as he is. They went back and forth for years because she ran the same kind of habitat, but she was saying that he was, you know, killing... when the tigers would get to a certain age, he would kill them. And freeze them and hire them. And it's, you know, it's inhumane, and tigers are considered exotic.
Right.
So you can't do that to an animal that's almost extinct.
Right.
But he was doing it in the wrong way. He got pissed off that she was doing it, so he would make his little videos, YouTube videos and online shows of him, like, reading a diary about all the shit that was going on with her. He would make a little doll.
Didn't he, like, hire a hitman or try to hire a hitman?
The long story short is that the reason why he went to jail is because he hired a hitman. To try and kill her, and then sorry, spoilers for whoever is watching this, but he went to jail for you know, attempted murder.
Who was all the hitman was also a fucking redneck.
It was a guy that was contracted through another guy, and
right.
They all knew each other.
It was like my cousin Bill's buddy's friend's uncle cousin Jesse,
so
Billy
the,
Boy.
The whole concept of it, to long story short it out, is that his mindset of feeling privileged got his ass thrown in jail.
Yes.
And now he thinks because Netflix made
a
they made a documentary on it.
He believes he deserves his freedom or some shit like that.
He asked Trump first he told Netflix he was going to sue him for $94 million.
Yeah, because they're using his name and
Netflix
shit or whatever.
used it as a joke.
Yeah.
They made that whole documentary, and the people in the documentary thought that they were being serious. Netflix made them into a fucking joke.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to sue Netflix for that, and then now he sent Trump a letter asking to be pardoned.
Yeah.
Because 22 years is a long time. You know,
right.
he didn't kill anybody. He did attempt. Which I understand, but you know, T.I. did that. That's when he went. T.I. went to jail for almost 2 years for attempted murder because he sent a contractor to go and kill somebody that he didn't like.
And
didn't
then
happen.
sing about it. Like,
exactly.
You don't sing about that.
The biggest concept of it was that he was, you know, killing and freezing tigers and burying them and shit. So
which is ridiculous.
So Trump said that he would look at it. Quotations, look at it. Just because Netflix made it popular.
Bro, you're not Kim Kardashian.
It's just that's pretty much what it is.
You're not Kim Kardashian.
He just wants to upraise and. I don't know. It's people's mindset of if they feel like they're convinced enough that they're entitled to have what they want, they can do whatever they want.
Well, no, I like the fact that here's the thing, folks. The whole point of all this stuff we've been talking about, or all the shows you've been watching, is to give yourself a break from the real world. Mm-hmm. You know, just like with the Tiger
Tiger King,
Tiger Man. Yeah. Just like with Tiger King. See, when you say Tiger King, I think of King from Tekken.
I saw a meme too. I saw a meme saying this is the only Tiger King that I know, and it shows that guy from the video game where it's all body, and then he has a fucking
that's
tiger head
King
on.
from Tekken,
he
dude.
Has a
like
Tiger King helmet
he's got
on.
like a jaguar head. Now every time I hear that, I think of that. I just see that guy running.
I saw the meme. You weren't the only one.
But it's like to take a minute and give your brain a break from reality.
Right.
You know, it's not easy being locked indoors all day.
No.
You know, it's just like a Sword Art Online. You know, it's a great anime. It's got a hella series, but they have nerve gear.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and that's just their way.
They get trapped in there. Yeah.
Right. Unfortunately, we don't have nerve gear, but at the same time, there are still those things like our podcast you can still do to kind of keep yourself occupied. Like we were talking about video on demand. Me and my girl just watched the latest Pixar movie, Upward, and it was amazing. It was a great movie, very cliche, a little stereotype. I'm kind of getting over the whole single mom household, dad's never around type themes, but whatever. That's on a different topic for a different conversation. It was a good movie. It didn't do any male bashing. You know, that's been a lot of issue with some of the more woke movies coming out lately is their male bashing, and that didn't happen in this movie. So it was very refreshing. And it was just nice to see like a happy ending.
Right, for a Pixar movie.
You don't get those very much nowadays.
No, you're getting a good concept of, like, you know, I know a lot of movies, since they're not going to theater, they're not making any money, they're sending them straight to film. And it's not bad. Like,
straight to video on demand. Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know that movie was there.
Right.
And we got it on Netflix. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
It's amazing.
But, you know, I heard about it. A lot of shows do give you something to look forward to. Like, I just finished the first season of Alter Carbon. Which it came out last year, like a year before, and then the season 2 just came out. Oh, I can't even
see. I didn't even get past the first. I maybe got the second episode.
A lot of people don't, because it's only 10 episodes. But a lot of people, they don't get past the first episode. But once you really get into the concept of it and listen or watch all 10 episodes, it is a phenomenal show. Like,
I believe it.
It literally is like a long ass movie because it just I won't ruin it for a lot of people. It's just it kind of subsides to maybe how society can be or how it is now, is that everybody's memory or their pretty much their souls are uploaded to these things called stacks.
Yeah.
And the stacks get put into a sleeve, which is the human body.
Right.
So these people can live for years. If they die, all they do is take the stack out.
Put in
from
a
their
new
neck and put in
body.
a new body.
Yeah, it's
but the only
creepy.
thing is that your body is the same.
Right,
but
it's creepy.
The richer people, the people that they're called sorry, the words, I forgot about what the word was. These richer people that have the money in order to duplicate themselves, they started remaking clones of their bodies, which what they would do is they would have a stack of themselves, make a copy of it, and put it in the clone and put the clone on ice.
Nice.
It's called double sleeving.
Right.
It's legal.
Right.
So you have two of you
So
walking
technically,
around.
you never die.
Yeah, you have two of you walking around, and you consistently keep wrapping it around. So the concept of people wanting to extend they're afraid to die, so they extend their life in another body.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's their body or not.
Right.
It was cool. It was just it really trips your mind into
Right.
thinking like, hey, is this how society could be down the road? It gives you something to look
they
forward
talk
to.
about it even now, digitizing the human soul. We've seen it. Johnny Depp made a movie about it. We saw it with what was that movie with Scarlett Johansson? I keep wanting to call it Eve. It's not. It's the name they gave the first monkey. It's not.
She has like
Eve.
psychic powers.
Yeah,
I saw parts of it, but I don't remember what it was.
it's a great. I forget the name of it,
Yeah.
but it's a great fucking movie. There's a lot of movies like that expound upon consciousness existing outside of the body, and we'll definitely get on that topic because I have a lot of my own personal speculations on things like that and how that can go very, very wrong very quickly. But we'll talk about that next time. So just these are some things that have been going on with us throughout the week. Sorry the uploads have been a little behind, but just with everything, with us being stuck indoors all day and me working and having to deal with my family, mental breaks. I'm editing.
There's a lot of side things going on. Our project with Project Airwaves, we're still trying to push to make more content, and the merch got put on hold just because you can't reach out to anybody for it. Video editing, that's the audio part is the audio part is D, and then the video editing is myself. I'm still trying to get that up and loading and stuff so we can actually start recording. It's just the concept of being able to actually go and move and do things while still working at the same time. It's a blessing and a curse.
We're both still working.
It's a blessing and a curse to have a job. But
but we appreciate you guys nonetheless. So one thing to keep in mind, they are making efforts toward creating a vaccination and or a cure for the coronavirus. So like I've said in episodes past, we're humans. We were naturally built on this earth. We come from the earth. With this virus, if it's natural like any other virus, it will have its time. It will pass. It's one of those things where, always try and keep a positive attitude. If you deal with someone who has a negative attitude, spread your positivity. Don't fight negativity with negativity. It only begets more negativity. So just try and stay upbeat, everybody. We're on multiple platforms. Lynn, what was one of them we're on?
We've got multiple platforms for you guys to listen to. We're still working on a way for you guys to contact us. We
have an email. I'll put it in the link.
Our email, we'll put in a link for projectairwaves.com, I believe, for whatever the email might be. Not entirely sure.
That's not an email address. No.
So we are on platforms Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Overcast, Radio Republic, and Apple.
Yes. So listen to us. This is our 13th episode. Each episode is damn near 20 minutes to an hour long. So trust me,
you're right.
We have more than enough content to fill your time.
We're pushing the content out. We're going to keep getting more and more. I mean, I'm happy to say, even with only 13 episodes, we were supposed to only get 100 listens, because listening to music opposed to an hour-long episode,
two different things.
The way that Anchor picks up is if you don't listen to a certain extent of it, it won't count as a read.
Right.
And our goal was, once we hit 10 episodes, if we can hit 100 listens in 10 episodes, we'll be happy.
Yeah.
By 7 episodes, we had 100.
We're over 200.
We're over 200 now, like 210, 215.
And this is episode 13.
So we're above our schedule. We're doing well. We still haven't sent everything out to the full social media aspect.
Yeah,
with the videos and the concepts, we're going to start pushing more and more content out. It's just finding the freaking time.
Yeah, we're working on the Patreon right now. Working on the Patreon. like Lynn said, he's working on the video side of things, so we'll be uploading videos. So that way, if you guys happen to miss us on the podcast side, you can pick us up on like the YouTube and whatever other video platform we can go ahead and post on. But that's it for us today, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm D.
And this is Lynn.
Keep your head in the motherfucking clouds.
And keep your feet on the ground and pushing.
We are Project Airwaves signing off. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Take it easy. You did good.